And welcome to today's segment of Authors Reveal. My name is Rena Neal, and I am the founder of Women with Voices. We give a platform to faith based authors. Today on Authors Reveal, I have Pastor Maribel Cota and life coach Claudia Cooley. My first speaker this morning will be Claudia Cooley. Claudia is the CEO and founder of Ignite Your Life. She is an independent certified health coach with Optavia and is the author of 4 books, which includes The 7 Mind Shifts to Ignite Your Success. Claudia, thank you for coming on our show this morning.
Well, it's my privilege. It's so exciting to be doing this kind of platform with you, Rena. We've done other things together, but not this. And so this is exciting, and thank you for having me. Well, I am Claudia Cooley, and I have had a lifelong journey for over 4 decades, actually, of really but helping people reach their own personal best and never settle for second best. So basically, I always like to say, reach for your own personal A+ and don't settle for anything less. And in the middle of my life, I taught high school, and that's where that little slogan came up, because I taught my students to do that too. So, I feel like as we are living our life step by step, day by day, as we become better each day and become the best version of ourselves, it's more fulfilling, we're happier, and we're actually inspiring other people and supporting other people, and that makes our life fulfilled. So, yeah, I do have 4 books. To tell you the truth, I had no idea I was ever going to write a book. And about 11 years ago, I had opportunity to become super healthy. I had been fighting my weight since I was 12. I was on my first doctor's diet at 12 with pills, and then the rest of my life was a fight to keep that going and to kind of keep that weight off. And I just kept gaining. I was pretty healthy, but not as healthy as I knew. That finally showed up for me. And basically, I had a dream. I had a real dream to be super healthy and keep being influential in my life as I went along, and to go as long as I could. So basically, 11 years ago, when I got super healthy, I was interviewed, and somebody said, "You need to write a book. You have so much knowledge in your head." Because my first business, actually, I had a self-improvement course that was franchised international. I did really well with that. I sold that and moved to California. And then from there, I was contacted by Disney, and they knew me. They had heard about me as the lady that could help you create 6,000 outfits out of 27 inches of closet. And they invited me to come and work with their business side of Disney, not the animation side, not the theme park side. I'm funny, but not that funny. Anyway, and so I went in and I was working with them how to dress professionally on a budget, because Disney didn't pay their staff a lot, interestingly enough, but nobody ever left. And then they saw something in me I didn't even know was there. They said, "Would you come and do some leadership development, because you have such a talent to bring management and staff together on the same page?" I was stunned. I was shocked. And so basically, I had the opportunity to step into that space, and then they kept promoting me to other Fortune 500 companies, and that was on my journey I was on. And then in the middle of that time, like when I was about 45, my husband had serious melanoma, and we didn't know if he was going to make it. And I said, "You know what? I need a job. We have a daughter in high school. I need to quit traveling, and I need insurance if he wasn't there." So I stepped into that journey of teaching school. That had been my lifelong dream when I was young. And so I decided to teach school. And I had an opportunity come to me asking if I would start a program at Colton High School in marketing, and they would proctor me while I got my teaching credentials. So that's what I did. And I fell in love with those kids, and I basically stayed 22 years. I was only going to teach 3 or 4 to pay the school district back, but I fell in love with them, and I said, "You know what? I don't really care if I'm inspiring in the boardroom or the classroom. It doesn't matter to me as long as I get to be inspiring others." And so I kept staying. And then finally at 67, I thought, I need to get back and finish my dream. My dream was what I had been doing before, inspiring more at the corporate level, small businesses. That's what I thought was my dream. And then I had this person come to me and ask me to write a book for men. And I said yes, which is a very powerful thought. I want you to remember this. There's two things real important. When something comes along and offered to you that is aligned with your purpose, say yes. Whether you know how you're going to do it or not, just say yes.
Amen.
And I had learned that with Disney, and then I got to do it again. And I stepped into that, and then 2 weeks later, the name of the book came to me, which was, believe it or not, Dud to Stud, Revving Up for Success. And then that was the journey. And then I was on a plane to New York, and I met this amazing man. I knew I needed to interview men because I had never done anything just with men. And even though I had been in the personal and professional development world for a long time. So I said to this man sitting on the plane, I was sitting next to the window. My husband was in the middle. We were on our way to Manhattan to have Christmas with our family. And he takes the aisle seat. Now, the door hadn't even closed on the plane yet. And I felt this nudge saying, say something to him. He's dressed professional. You might want to see if you could interview him. Anyway, I leaned across Dale. I told the man, don't get scared. I'm not a wacky woman. I'm writing this book. I talked really fast. and he leaned across Dale, and now Dale's looking at us because Sean and I were nose to nose. And he was so excited about what I had offered to him and what I was doing. And the flight attendant taps him on the shoulder and says, sir, you're in the wrong seat. You need to move. And the door still hadn't even closed on the plane. Now, trust me, when I normally in a plane, I wait till I'm in the air, the wheels come up before I start a conversation. But I had felt this nudge to say something to him. So he asked me for my card, and all I had was my health coaching card. I gave him that. And when I got to New York, he'd already emailed me and had said, was I serious? Would I want to meet face-to-face or on the phone? And of course I said face to face. And so I met Sean, but I didn't know this. After I sent the email back, I scrolled to the bottom and he was vice president of Deutsche Bank on Wall Street. What's the chances of that? I grew up here in Southern California, out in the middle of nowhere between LA and Palm Springs. And how did that happen? It was a God thing. Anyway,
yes, it was.
Yes, so I walked away from that meeting with him and I said, okay, God, I don't know what you have in mind, but I can see that this is really more than I thought. And I'm on a horse with no saddle, no bridle, nothing. I'm just going to hold on tight and enjoy the journey. And I did. And I had 12 amazing men contribute to this book and share their insights. And that was quite a journey. And then I used the story in the very beginning of how our son had this very powerful dream. And he actually went to China with a study class from his photography university. And he climbed the backside of a mountain to get to the top. Kind of my mountain on the cover here represents that. And he climbs up, he starts climbing, and he gets halfway up. Back then, this was early 90s. There was no digital camera. We didn't use iPhones to take pictures. And he climbs this mountain halfway. It's nighttime. A monastery was there. He went in. They were in silence, so they couldn't say anything to him. He stayed all night. The next morning he left. They still couldn't say anything to him. And he gets to the top of the mountain to where he had this picture in his mind that he was going to capture at the top of that mountain. And he could see it. But a bus goes by, and he said, there's a road up here. There's a bus up here, because he climbed the backside of that mountain for 2 days. And so I said that in the book, and I said, you have a big dream, but don't be afraid to reach out to somebody that can help you on the journey. And so that's what I do as a coach, as a life coach, as a personal development coach, is help people get to the top of their mountain and the quickest and the safest and the most accomplished way. And so that's what I do now as a health coach. Oh, I was going to tell you. So I was 67. I get super healthy. I get all energized. And then that's when I got asked to write the book. And my first book came out when I was 70, and it became a bestseller. I couldn't believe it. #1 bestseller. And then I had 4 more books come out after, or 3 more books come out after that. So I had never dreamed of that. But I learned to dream. And so basically, if your dream is big enough, then you can accomplish anything. But you have to keep your mind on your dream and your vision. And that's why here at 78, I'm still doing stuff, because I still have big dreams. And you guys just attach to your dream and reach out. And I actually have free possibility assessments that I do with people. And my email is on here on this. You have it available to you. And my phone number is always available. You can text me or you can email me and say, I want that free possibility session with you. And, and I would love to help you see your dream, find your dream, and then go for your dream. Set some goals. So, Raina, do you have any questions for me, or should I?
Well, yes, you said you were 78. You do not look it. So what keeps you looking so young?
Well, thank you for asking that. Actually, when I was 67 and left teaching, I was pretty tired. I still had an idea of accomplishing things, but I wasn't sure I was inspired enough to do it. And then when I got healthy, I found Optavia. It's Optavia. Anyway, I found that program after trying all my life to lose weight. And then I found that program and lost like 40 pounds like that, like 3 months or less. And all of a sudden, and I had never done that. I weighed what I did on my wedding day. Like, wow. And then when we hit our 50th anniversary, I wore my wedding dress. Isn't that cool?
Oh, my goodness.
And
yes.
So basically, you guys, health is the priority. Yeah, I love to help people with their health, their wealth, and their relationships. In the end of this year, September, Dale and I'll be married 60 years. And we still have a love story going on. Yeah. But I think some of that comes from being healthy, both of us. But, it really is making your health a priority. Then the wealth comes along. I've been blessed. I have had a lot of abundance, and I've been blessed. It comes along, though, when you're healthy. And your relationships are stronger when you're healthy. And that's why last year, a little over a year ago, I decided, you know what, I'm not going to do the other things anymore. I'm just going to focus on showing people how to be healthy, how to get this lifestyle that I have full of vitality and energy to keep going to reach for their dreams and goals and still be making a difference. You guys, making a difference in the world is empowering. It just is.
Yes, it is. So, so you mentioned you're 78. I think I saw on Facebook that Dale is 84, right?
He's 83.
83. You both look so young. What advice can you give to people? I know you're watching with your youth and health. What advice do you give to people to make their marriage last longer? Because you say you're celebrating 60 years. That is phenomenal and rare these days. What advice do you want to give to people who have been married 10, 12, or just getting married? What advice would you want to tell them?
Well, at 10 and 12, there's still some things you're learning. There's still some challenges. But the thing is, you guys, when I married Dale, when we married each other, we were in love, and we had determined, we professed to each other and before God that we were going to keep that love story going forever. And we really set some big distances. We were going to go past 75 years together, just listening today to the Queen and the Prince and him passing away. They were married 73 years. And they still had a strong relationship. And that was, Dale's folks were married 60 years. My dad died young, so my mom and dad, I didn't get to experience that. But we saw down there, we were going to be married when we were older. Now, back then, when I was 18, 19, did they live that long? Really? Yeah. So it wasn't like I had that vision, but I knew that Dale was my man. He was my guy. He was my knight in shining armor. And I was going to do everything to preserve that and keep that. So you can't let things sidetrack you guys. Communication. That's the key. Stay talking, keep talking, whether you like what you're hearing or not. Make sure you're hearing what the other one's saying.
Amen. Amen. Claudia, what words of advice do you want to give to those who are trying to reach your goals, or especially when it comes to weight loss? What little gems can you give to the audience?
It still starts with the dream, you guys. And when I have a client, we talk about, what is your goal? Why do you want to do this? If you can see on my wall over here, we have 7 grandchildren, and we've had 2 more marry in. So now I say we have 9 grandchildren. And I have a picture over here of each of them, my 7, at the same age that they were with me. So basically, it's all different ages of me, but they're the same age. So, but right there and above it, I said, you are my why. And And you know why they're my why is because I want to be here to inspire them to be the best version of themselves. I don't have any expectations. You know, just be who you were designed to be. And you know what? I do know, just like I said earlier, if you say yes to things that align with your purpose, and then how I leaned in and grabbed that opportunity with Sean, that my life would look different if I had not leaned across Dale and said something to Sean. My life would look different today. I would have probably never finished that book. So anyway, that is my why. And so just know what your why is. It has to be strong, and if it's strong, it'll pull you along.
Oh, great, great. You know, I want to ask you the book, The 7 Mind Shifts to Ignite Your Success. You want to talk a little bit about that?
What's nice about this book is you were talking about another one that had some journaling in it. The teacher in me, I taught in the book, and then at the end, I asked questions. At the end of each chapter, I ask questions for you to fill in your answers. That's the teacher in me. But basically, this book takes you through the 7 things that will really move you toward your success. And the first one is, you know, to have a big vision, to have a dream. I was going to read just the chapters. Have a vision that will empower you. But the next thing is have confidence that you deserve this. You know, and confidence is everything. And believing in yourself. And when I was a little girl, my dad took, I was the only child of my mom and dad's union, but they both had children before. So here I come along, and he was hoping for a little boy because everybody else was girls. But anyway, I became his sidekick, and he just put everything into me, believing in me and telling me to believe in myself. And he taught me a lot about people. He was an entrepreneur. He taught me a lot about that. And he died when I was 11, but he had a huge impact in my life. And so he taught me to believe in what I could do and not let anything get in my way. So be confident that you deserve your dream. And then be determined, you guys. Be committed to your own goals and dreams. Don't let anybody take you off track. And then be enthusiastic. I have no problem with that. But you guys, be enthusiastic and live your life in balance, just like I was talking about, in your health, your wealth, your relationships, and your finances. All of that, if you can live your life in balance, I think that also brings better health. Yes. And then significant actions for significant outcomes. If you have some goals, don't create mediocre action steps. You guys, come on. Create great ones, you know, and you've got to learn to love your life. Every morning I get up, and the minute my feet hit the ground, which is, you know, maybe not way early, but when they hit the ground, I throw my arms up in the air and I say, I love my life. I love my life. And if I don't feel it, I do it again, because you guys, you can't do that and not have your heart pick up the speed. And that's what really helps you have confidence in your day, but then create some significant actions in that day to create the outcomes that you want. And then build community. Build community. It's so important. Raina and I have been part of different community and sisterhood where we've really been there to empower each other. Have communities that empower you and that you get to empower. Don't just be take it all in. Be a giver outer, if those are words. I don't really know. And then have an attitude of gratitude, you guys, and contribution, and just be willing to give back. Always be willing to give back. I would do now what I do now for free, although I get paid really well, but I would do it for free, because if I can inspire somebody to embrace their health, which will empower their health, their wealth, their relationships, everything else, if I can do that for them, my cup's full. My cup is so full. So basically, giving out and contributing to others is a gift right back to yourself.
Great. Now, Claudia, can you remind the audience where they can purchase your books?
My books are all on Amazon. Okay. So just go to Amazon, just look up Claudia Cooley. I show up kind of everywhere. Go join me on Facebook. Come and say, you know, on Facebook, hey, I saw you today. And then let's become friends on Facebook, which is Claudia Cooley, or even Claudia_Cooley. Sometimes it comes up both ways. And so you can get my book on Amazon. But I would love if you would reach out to me and do a possibility assessment so we can kind of see what your goals are, and I can help you move toward them.
Great, great. Now, I know on Facebook, because I follow you also, you have some really great recipes. Where do you get those? Are those the one you create yourself, or do you get them out of a cookbook?
No, well, actually, I grab them wherever I find them.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and then Optavia actually has a great Pinterest page that you can go to and
Yes.
find some great recipes on Optavia. And Optavia is Optavia, which people don't know which way to say it, but it's Optavia, which
Hmm.
means optimal living, by the way. And then basically, the recipes and everything are there to help you create lifelong transformation. So it's like you're eating healthy, but you're still enjoying it. And it's pretty. As you said, you saw some of my recipes. They really
Hmm.
are pretty, you know? So it's like, it's not just satisfying your taste buds, it's really your mental. You guys, did you know that 50% of your health comes from a healthy mind? Is that not amazing? So if we can work on our mind and live above the line and be an empowering person, not a victim, uh,
Right.
it creates lots of health right there.
Great, great. Claudia, thank you so much. You're truly inspiring, and I did enjoy Sisterhood. It was really, really great, and we all worked together to achieve our goals. It was wonderful. Next, we will have Pastor Maribel Cota, and she is also a broadcaster with HSBN TV. Her show is called The Great Exchange. She is also the author of 2 books, with her latest is titled 10 Times Better Devotional. She hosts a Facebook Live show titled TRV, the study group. Let's welcome Maribel. Well, let's see. Maribel, are you there? Well, Claudia, we'll go back to you and we'll discuss more of your.
Let's talk about this book.
Okay, go
Or
ahead.
actually, this will be fun. I don't know if your audience is male and female or just female, but this is an amazing book too. This is Savvy Women Revving Up for Success. And I got to interview 19 women. The one of the 20th one was myself, but we all contributed toward the opportunity to become revving up your success in your health, your wealth, and your relationships. But one of the key people, well, there's several, they're all key, they're all awesome. Mwah, I love you all. But one of them I think of is little Jillian Larson. And Jillian actually tried for, I think, 6 or 8 years to get on the Survivor show. She really wanted to be on the Survivor show. And she went everywhere in the world to try things, to learn how to walk on dolphins and what all kinds of stuff, meet sharks face to face, to get really prepared. And she kept trying and trying. And then finally, she made it on the show. And she was in her 60s when she did that.
Wow.
And so basically, she was on 3 episodes and then she got bounced. And she said it was okay because now she had that celebrity that she wanted to go out and do what she wants to do. And she lives in Temecula, California, and she does like a Survivor rally once a year. And she brings in all of the movie stars and celebrities to help her do this. And they earn money for young women that need breast cancer reconstruction after breast cancer that cannot, have no insurance or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So she earns thousands and thousands of dollars from that opportunity to be on that show for three sessions. But the point is how she worked so hard to get there, and talk about determination and commitment that I mentioned in my 7 Mind Shifts book. So she was one of them. I mean, there's so many on here. They all have such great stories. I have somebody that's a superintendent of a school district up in Northern California. I had, oh my gosh, Kim Summers, who's became a great friend, and Sparkle, talk about Miss Sparkle. And she has radio shows and stuff going on too. Nancy Ferrari. I mean, they go on and on how amazing they are in here. And each of them share a story in their category that I have them in, on how to become rev up your success, to inspire you to rev up your success. One of them is the owner of Team, TEAM, which is a huge networking company, which is Kelly Holmes. And she started off small and has just grown and grown. But what they called themselves was ordinary women doing extraordinary things. And you know what?
Yes.
We all might feel ordinary, but
That's
we
right.
still have our own talents to go ahead and make a huge difference. I mean, I had no idea when I was a little girl that when I was doing tea parties and playing with my little doll clothes. I mean, I actually never dressed my dolls so much. My mom made me wonderful clothes, but I loved organizing them in different suitcases and putting them together in outfits. And then what did I grow up to do? That kind of thing. So that's an amazing book. But I love also this one, The Winning Image. I showed you the guy's book. And
yes, you did.
Girls, you can go through this, and it covers every single aspect of your life, every aspect. And then I end it with Dale's and my love story. But this book, Revving Up with the Winning Image, is really about living your life in balance and creating, like if you think of the infinity sign, and you think on one side, that's all about your inner beauty,
right,
or on the inside. On the other side of the infinity sign is all what shows up on the outside. And you guys, we need to pay attention of how we're showing up on the outside. So if those two are in balance on that infinity sign in that middle where it comes together, you have perfect balance in your inner and outer beauty, that's where your powerhouse is. That's the powerhouse where you can go out and make your difference in the world, accomplish what you want to accomplish, become super successful, possibilities. It's all of that. So that's what I love about that book. So anyway, those are little excerpts from those two of the other books. But anyway, Any other questions?
No. We'll see if Maribel made it back.
Yeah, let's see if she's. No, I don't see her. There she is. There she is.
Great. Welcome back, Maribel. Okay, so I already introduced you, so just come on. Welcome, Maribel. Oh, we can't hear you. No, we can't. We still can't hear you. Well, back to you, Claudia. We can talk more about your life coach. Your life coach. So, Claudia, when you do the life coach, how do you prepare your clients? What do you sit down when you do a preparation? How do you prepare your clients? You say you do an assessment. So how long do you work with them?
I do an assessment and determine what they're wanting to accomplish. And then everybody, whether it's a health client or a business client, I have them do a dream board, a vision board. And vision boards are so revealing. And my very first vision board I did when in 1978. That's a long time ago. And I was teaching my first business. I told you was had a franchise in an international self-improvement course for women. And one of the topics, one of the weeks, it was an 8-week course, was on creating your wardrobe. And I would talk about find your own style, just dress in your own style, put that together. And then they started asking me, how do I determine that? And I thought, how do you do that? So I prayed about it, and God gave me this idea. I would go to people's homes and see that were in Amway, which was a popular company. I think it might be around. I don't know. Yes. But they would have their dreams on their refrigerator. And then I would go to another home and see all their dreams, but it looked different. And I started saying, and I started to see style show up. So I thought, if we do dream boards, I'll be able to determine the styles. So basically I started doing that in my classes. and we did the dream boards. Well, for myself, my first one, I had never dreamed much because my dad died when I was young. My mom wasn't well. I went to work at 12. It's not a sad story. It's just my story. But anyway, so in the course of that, I had never dreamed much. So when I did my first dream board, which I needed to do before I taught a class on it, I had to go get magazines and stuff. So I go to the grocery store and I am so practical. 29 cents each magazines back then, you guys. Family Circle and Woman Today. 29 cents. So now I'm going through this trying to find some stuff for a dream board, and all it was recipes and how to get rid of diaper rash and, some of those kind of things. And I'm not inspired. So I went to the airport. This was before Barnes and Nobles. And I went to the airport and I found some expensive magazines. And I bought one that was $4.95. Ha! Remember, I had spent 29 cents. Went to $4.95. $4.95 is kind of normal now. But anyway, so I spent and brought home my magazines. And then I started tearing out pictures and realized I really started dreaming. I couldn't stop. So I had created actually 5 boards and hooked them together. So now, 6 years later, I'm speaking now in Vegas for a large real estate conference, and they wanted me to be there to inspire people. So I had my dream board with me, and I mentioned that on this dream board, everything had shown up. On all of these 5 boards, everything had shown up, except this one blouse. And so after everything was said and done, and people were up talking to me, there was this one woman standing back, and I thought she was just shy. Right. Anyway, I said to her, "Do you have a question?" She said, "No, I wanted to tell you something." And I said, "Okay." She said, "I'm the designer of that blouse you're missing, and I was sizing you up. I'm going to have it made for you and sent to you." So then I had absolutely everything on that dream board. So that I begin to think, there's more to these dream boards than I realized.
Yes,
more than just style. And so then I started realizing how it opens up doors. And so I started having everybody do vision boards, no matter what I was working with them on. I actually, when I worked with Disney, I had them do vision boards. Can you imagine me getting Disney people to do dream boards? Anyway, it was fun, and it actually opened up a lot, awakened things for them too. So basically, there's a lot of power in.
Yes, it is. Now,
in vision.
I want to ask you with the vision board. So you do one for yourself. You still continue to do one for yourself?
That's interesting that you asked that. Actually, when one gets complete, then I need to do a new one. Well, I was just getting one of my health clients last fall to do a vision board. I was talking to her about doing it, and she hadn't done one, and she didn't see the value in it. And so I shared that story with her, and she said, "Well, when did you last do yours?" And so I told her it had been 10 years, and actually before I wrote books. And she said, "Well, maybe you should do a new one." I'm going, maybe I should, because actually everything's done on there. And so I did. I took the challenge from her. We gave each other 2 weeks to do our dream boards. And then if I got off the phone with her, she lives in Phoenix, and I'm here in Southern California. I didn't meet face to face. And so I thought, you know what? Here I am in this stage of my life, and I feel really content. What more can I want? I've been so blessed. Then I felt guilty for feeling that way because our world was upside down. Still is a bit, but I'm me saying I'm feeling content. I felt guilty, and then I was kind of sharing it in our sisterhood group, and somebody said, "Well, why don't you?" I said, "I don't know if I can do a board," and she said, "Why don't you just do quotes, because you love quotes?" Susie said that, and so I said, okay, and I started into the quotes, but then I found lots of pictures. But when you really do look at it, you can see how content and tranquil this particular vision board is. And you guys, it dawned on me. I've worked hard all my life. I've enjoyed everything I've done. It's all been fun. And there's a lesson in that too.
Yeah.
But here I am, 78, and I'm feeling content. And isn't that what we all work for?
Yeah.
Isn't that what we're all waiting for? And I thought, this is good. So now that's a message to you guys. It is possible. It is possible to get where you feel, I'm not complete. I'm just content. I'm still going, you guys. I'm going to go to 103.
Amen.
And Dale's
Amen.
promised to go to 107 because he's 4 years older. And we're going to go together. We have this all planned out. But of course, God has his ideas, and he laughs
Yes.
at us. I know he laughs at us. But anyway, so there is a lot of power in that. And so I always have my business clients, my health clients do a vision board. Because when you stand back and you put that in a room where you are and you keep seeing it subtly, it's not like you focus on it every day or look at it every day. It's there in your space. And then it starts to show up. So if I have a client, a health client, and they need to, not all my clients need to lose weight. That's the first phase of getting healthy, getting those pounds out of the way, because then you start working on other things. Because when I first lost my 40 pounds, I was still on some medications. And then just practicing these habits of health for the next 11 years, I am on no medications now.
Wow.
And I'm not taking any drugs, you guys. I know it seems like I'm probably due, but no. But anyway, it just kept practicing that. But doing the vision board, when somebody, let's say they are losing weight, wanting to lose weight, and we have a program for that, and it's the most outstanding in the world. We've just been recognized as the fastest growing company in the world. We've been recognized as the most trustworthy company in the world. So there's a lot going for us. But in the process of helping people, it's like I think I need an Oreo cookie, or I'm going to a party and it's my birthday and they're making special stuff just for me. And it's real important when you're losing weight that you get into fat burn, because if you're in fat burn, not to put anybody down, but not a keto type ketosis, but just a little bit of fat burn. So you're not losing muscle, you're only losing fat. When you get in there, you have more energy, like this. Anyway, and so basically once you're into fat burn and you go and you have an Oreo cookie, it takes you out of fat burn. And it takes 3 days to get back into fat burn. So you have to decide. And I love to teach people, stop, challenge, and choose. So because they'll say, can I have this? They'll say this to me, can I have this? And I'll say, I'm not your mom. I'm not a judge. This is your choice, but let's practice this. Stop, challenge, and choose. So before you take the cookie, stop, think about it. Then you challenge it. Do I want to go ahead and take myself out of fat burn for 3 days? Is it worth it to me? And then you decide, no, it's not worth it. Or because I really want to get in that bikini and be in Hawaii. or I've got plenty of time to get into that bikini. I'm just going to have this in 3 days is okay. I understand that. And then you choose. And there's no guilt. You stopped. You challenged and you chose. So in that course, it gives us a lot of power in anything you do. You can do that if you're out shopping for furniture for your house. Stop, challenge, and choose. Spending the money worth this, kind of thing. So I love that technique. I hope that's helpful to your audience, because that's a great tool to take with you from now on.
Yes, definitely. I'm going to use that when I go in the store and I'm going by the ice cream, because that's my weakness. And Rocky Road, and I'm always saying it was calling my name, and then next thing you know, it's in my shopping cart. So I'm going to start doing.
And then the next thing, it's on my hips, right?
And then I eat the whole gallon or the quart in about a day and a half, and it's late at night, which is very, very unhealthy when you're eating stuff like that. So most definitely.
You bring up a good point too. People think eating late at night is bad, but really you need to eat 6 times a day. And you start from and you need to eat every 2 to 3 hours. It's good to have a little bit of protein in each of those meals. But as you're eating those 6 meals a day, it keeps you from craving, and it keeps you from binging, and it keeps your blood sugar level. You stay happier mood. You have more clarity of thinking. And so eating that 6 times a day, which means probably eating up close to bedtime. And people think, I shouldn't eat after 6. I spent lots of years of all kinds of diets. And some of them you didn't eat after 4 o'clock. And some of you ate grapefruit and hard-boiled eggs all day. I mean, I tried everything. although I've heard of new ones since I found Optavia 11 years ago. I've heard of even new ones, but I'm so glad I didn't have to do those too. But anyway, in the process of, you do want to eat up until, if you're eating every 2 to 3 hours, however that ends. If you ate at 6 o'clock for your dinner, then you need to eat at night if you're still up, and then go to bed. You'll sleep far better. Your metabolism will be healthier, and you'll wake up more refreshed.
It's a good idea. Also, it's also important drinking water. And I understand that, when you first get up in the morning, you should drink, some water. And so I've been trying to do that. But I also stopped eating around 7. But lately I've been going past 7. So I know you recommend eating 6 times a day. But we have to
It
remind
should not
everybody.
be Rocky Road ice cream. No,
Yeah.
it still
Yes.
needs
Just
to be
remember
healthy
that.
meals. Yeah.
Try to make it more healthy. Now, I want to ask, when you say protein, give examples of some
Yogurt,
protein
hard-boiled
foods.
egg, almonds, up to
Wha-
10 almonds. You can put them in a little snack bag. That counts. That would count. Yogurt is great. Um, your hard-boiled eggs, easy to have. Those kind of things too. So those are all protein. So adding
Right.
in, having
Okay.
a little salad with some tuna on it, or canned chicken, even, kind of things. So it's easier than you think to get
To
that.
get.
Mm-hmm. And
Now,
actually, if
my
somebody's
question too
interested,
is,
if they're interested, they can contact me, and I'll send you a little list too of things
okay.
that you can do for those little
You
little
know what? I
things.
suggest you put it on your Facebook page, because I know people are going to be watching it, and you can go to Claudia Cooley's Facebook page. Also, where there's a good and bad about coffee. What do you say about coffee?
Well, it's not the coffee, it's the caffeine. So basically, we just recommend you not have more than 3 cups of caffeine a day, whether it's tea, soda, coffee, whatever it is. It's the caffeine that's really more the issue.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm down to 1. It took me a long time to get there, and then the rest of the day I try to drink water. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and you want to shoot for like 64 to 80 ounces of water a day.
Okay, okay. Now, my other question is, so when you're a life coach and you're working with people, I'll give you an example. You're doing the health or helping someone to lose weight. What is the normal or length of time of your coaching? Is it 3 months, 6 months, a year, or does it really depend on the person?
Well, within my program, within our company, we're with you through weight loss, if that's what you need to do. But once you lose the weight, we're still with you, because what we're here to do is teach you how to create lifelong transformation. And so once you reach your weight loss, like I told you, I really got healthier after I lost my weight. I got off meds and the energy, all of that kind of thing. So your coach is free. In my program in Optavia, your coach is free, and we're there with you the whole journey until you tell us to go away, which I'm hoping you wouldn't tell me that. But in that regard, I still have people like coach for 11 years. I've been coaching 11 years and over 11
Okay.
years, and I still have some with me. And basically, it's just helping form what's that next habit we're going to work on. Is it better sleep, or is it less stress, or is it more movement, and what kind of movement, and what are we going to work on? What's that next habit? So we just move from habit to habit to habit, but we get the weight out of the way. Even if it's only 10 pounds, it's still in your way. And
Right.
basically, if you lose 20 pounds, you're adding about 10 years to your life. Of course, God willing, God has our days numbered. But if you are, like I lost 40 pounds, Dr.
Wow.
Anderson, who's the co-founder of Optavia, he said, Claudia, and he actually gave me input on my first book, because one of the chapters is on health. And he said, you really did add about 15 years to your life. So, you're not just getting rid of weight. It's about, what am I gaining? What am I creating? So don't think about what I'm losing. What am I creating? So if you get your eyes off of course, it's kind of fun to watch the scale go down. Or the
Yes.
belt buckle. I have a man. He's measuring everything by his belt notches. So
Right.
he's down to the last. He had to poke a hole in his belt to down to the next notch. But so it's not just scales. We always say the scale wins and the non-scale wins, because sometimes I have some clients that have fibromyalgia or had fibromyalgia, and they may still probably have the disease, but they're not having any symptoms because that's an anti-inflammatory disease. So basically, 3 weeks in and they're out of pain. That's worth
That's
it.
a win-win right there.
I know they might not have needed to lose much weight. They might have lost 10 pounds. I have another one that was in the hospital when she called me. She'd had pancreatic failure because her diabetes, her sugar numbers were up way so high. So she was in the hospital. They wouldn't let her go home until she had a plan to lose weight and to get those sugar numbers down. So she called me because she knew me. She knew about me. And we got her on the plan. I had everything ordered, all her fuelings and everything ordered for her that she would need to get to lose the weight. Today, she's lost 75 pounds. And actually, she's been at this goal now, maybe a couple months. Took her about 5 months to get here. 75 pounds. But the bigger picture is the non-scale win is she was on 4 insulin shots a day and then went in for an extra booster one on Fridays. Now she's not on any of those insulin shots. So, those are the big stories.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So but now I'll be staying on this journey with her to make sure she doesn't gain the weight back, doesn't go back to the old habits, that we keep making new habits that really help her sustain this win, kind of thing.
Well, Connie, we only have a few more minutes, but I wanted to ask you one more question. Something that we haven't talked about is exercise. Do you exercise? Do you have a regular exercise habit that goes along with your healthy eating?
I wished I could say to you, yes. I've never been crazy about exercise. I was a dancer 9 years when I was young, and then I was a cheerleader in high school. I was used to exercise, but I don't like to. I don't like to sweat because then you have to redo the hair. So it's crazy. But I'm a speed walker. I love walking. I walk every day. I live kind of in the country, so I do a lot of walking. I went to the gym, and even just before pandemic started, I had joined the gym. Wasn't excited about it. I was making myself do it. And so the pandemic came along. It was not a hardship for me to have to give up going to the gym, to tell you the truth. But I do have an exercise bike that helps keep my bones, strong, and my knees strong, and all of that too, and my heart. But even that, I have to put it on my calendar because it's not like, oh boy, I get to go exercise. I wish I could say that. But the 40 pounds I lost that without exercising. And it came off fast. It really came off in 11 weeks. So, I was like stunned, totally stunned. But anyway, so then I wanted to exercise because I have all this energy. So that I do things like mowing the yard, trimming down bushes. To me, if it's producing something else other than just sweat, I'm good with it. But that's a great question. Thanks for asking. And I'm so sorry I'm going to have to be embarrassed, but I'm authentic.
Well, hey, yes, most definitely. Well, Claudia, thank you so much for coming on the show. Unfortunately, Maribel had technical issues and she couldn't make it on today, but we will have her back soon also. So, Claudia, I just just want to thank you once again, and just want to remind the audience your books are on Amazon. You're on Facebook, Claudia Cooley. And this concludes our show today. But you can watch Authors ReVeal. You can watch this show on Facebook. You can watch it on HSBN. We also have many other media outlets such as LG Network, YouTube, Apple TV, Spotify, and many more. If any author, you're out there and you're interested in coming on Authors ReVeal, please feel free to email me at authorsreveal@yahoo.com. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching our show, and have a wonderful week. And until next time, we'll see you May 1st. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.